Okay, so I am back after a month, almost a month, at least a few weeks. There is no gap in posting, so that might not be evident, but the last time I recorded the last 5 videos was at least 2 weeks ago. So now for this one, it was like, you know what I learned from editing the last few videos? When I was editing it, I was face palming so many times because one, I was sleepy, two, I had already stalled recording those videos for so long. There is a difference between letting the fruit ripe and waiting so long that it rots, you know. Obviously, the way I work with these videos is the only intention that I have. Even regarding one of the topics that we are going to discuss today, there was so much information on Reddit, and I was tempted to go through all of it, but then I really didn't feel like it. Even while reading, I was like, no, I do not want to do that. I don't want to collect information on a topic that I have. Naturally, what comes up, I will make like one line notes about it. Most of the time, I'll just say, oh, I'll remember it, and then I will let it marinate within for some time. And then there is a soft spot where you should record within those days, because the last time what I did was, especially with the indignity of suffering, there is a sense of fulfillment that I felt when I thought of that topic. Like, I was so excited to record it, and the end product that I saw, and even while editing all 5 videos, also God is a feeling. I had so many things. I was like, I could go in this direction also. Like, I could have dwelled deeper, like I could have explored other areas and aspects, and then subtopics that were linking to the other thing. But because I was so sleep deprived, and because there was some sense of urgency that I had, it is not that I don't like those 5 videos. I really do, but there is a learning curve. And this time I have learned to not uh, let the fruit rot. So, on that note, today is 12th April now. It is past midnight, and we are going to do a video on that also. Very special video, one of the more personal ones. But this video is titled Free Will Does Not Exist. So, in college, what happened was, maybe I'll do a college story one day, this year especially, because this year is 10-year anniversary of me getting into college, and it is something really, really special to me. If that is the direction, if personalization is where we are going, we'll go there. But in college first year, I promised myself that I'm going to take part in the debate, English debate in final year, and I participated in it. And our topic, if I remember it correctly, was fault in our stars. Destiny, like, it was about determinism. Does destiny play, like, is destiny something real, or do we have free will? So my French teacher, he gave me a book to prepare on this debate, and it was by Sam Harris, and it is Free Will, you know. So free will question mark. So the thing is, why am I saying free will does not exist? Because now again, I can go into the depths, almost like I can't. There are other people who have researched these topics in much more organized and structured way, but that is not me. So I do not feel like doing it. So I will talk about it in the sense of the life experiences that I've had. Okay. And this time, regarding the videos that we are going to shoot today, I did not have Instagram references because I am reducing my screen time. Lol. No one says lol out loud. Apologies. Anyways, so the point is, I did not have Instagram references. So guess who made notes this time? I actually sat down yesterday. I was going to record them yesterday. And I was like, okay, write the topic and see what comes up. And thank God it was natural and connected, and the little things that I told myself I will remember, I actually remembered them, and they connected. So we have notes, and then I went on to the search engine to take some reference photos, for the cover and everything. So In the debate that I participated in, I was against the understanding that there is free will. One of the arguments that I put forward was, in physics there's a third law of motion, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When we say we can do anything and everything, even though in theory that might be possible, I think we underestimate how much we are a product of what we have been through, how much we are impacted by the life we have lived, the people we have known, the things that have happened in our lives, and like the neural frameworks those experiences have created. We underestimate, and this is not to say you cannot do anything. This is not to, again, Sam Harris also talks about, like, this is not to undermine human agency. You can do whatever you want, you can do whatever you put your mind to. This is not to demotivate you, this is quite literally the opposite. It is to say that there is nature, and according to natural laws of understanding. For example, there are fruits these days that do not rot for forever, maybe. And there are a lot of ways in which we have defied nature, but we are human beings and we are going to be impacted by natural laws. If you are a person, and if you are, for example, a plant, and you are put too much into the sunlight, it will have an impact on you. In theory, there are plants who have, not even in theory, in practical also, there are plants who have survived really harsh sunlight. But the point I'm making is, we are impacted by what we have been through, and that further impacts the decisions that we make. There is a third law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In Kung Fu Panda 1, there is a very fabulous scene where Oogway is almost going to die in that scene. So he is there under the sacred peach tree of wisdom, and Shifu is like, I have a bad news. And then Oogway goes, this is a little bit of a funny segment where Oogway goes, there is no bad news. And then Shifu says, Tai Lung has returned. And then Ugwe goes, it is bad news. And then he stops and he's like, if you do not believe that the dragon warrior can stop him. So that is a little funny segment, irrelevant, but I cannot stop talking about Kung Fu Panda. But in that scene, what happens is, Shifu says Dragon Warrior cannot defeat Tai Lung. Dragon Warrior is Po the panda. He is the misfit of the entire thing, and he does not know a thing about Kung Fu, and he is somehow destined to be this great, like, Kung Fu warrior, who's going to defeat a very seasoned Tai Lung. So Shifu is like, he cannot do that. And then Oogway goes, he can if you choose to believe in him. But then Shifu is like, belief is not enough, right? Like, you can. He didn't say belief is not enough. He was talking about the peach tree, and he was like, I can make the fruit fall where I want it to. And then at the same moment, the fruit falls on him. So proving him wrong at the same time. But then Shifu goes, I can choose where to plant the seed, and I can choose to care for that seed, to nurture for it. But then Ugwe goes, but you cannot make it bloom at your convenience. You cannot make it blossom when it suits you. And whatever you do, a peach tree is going to remain a peach tree. It is not going to become a mango tree. I don't think he said mango. What that means is, who we are and what kind of life experiences we have had is going to impact us in our journey moving forward. That is not a deterrent to your success. If you use it wisely, you can be stupid. Obviously, this is nothing against. You do not have to be, like a performative sense of wise. When I say wisely, I mean a little bit better than yesterday. So if you choose to look at it wisely, it can actually propel you forward. The thing is, for example, in theory, every person can become an athlete, right? Now, we have talked about emotional body and physical body, right? When I say emotional body, this is to understand that a person is a person, but the emotional and mental wounds of a person are not visible. So, when we are saying emotional body, we are trying to picture, like trying to put it into words a little bit better. So, for example, somebody said something to me and it has hurt me in my knee of my emotional body. And and there was a certain experience with certain classrooms or something, and that has hurt me in my shin of my emotional body. Now, technically, I can run and become an athlete, right? Like heal and become this person who feels fabulous everywhere, everywhere. But the day I go running, again, metaphorically running, like becoming that person, the pain that I have in my knee and my shin is going to come up. This can mean two things. I can take it as two things. I can be like, this pain has come up. This means I cannot do it. This means I can never do it because of how much pain I carry in my knees and my shin. Or I can look at it as the pain that is coming up is showing up to bring my attention to where I need to put my attention. So I will then go to the doctor. And in our emotional sense, it would mean maybe talking to a therapist, maybe searching information online, maybe reading a book, anything. And then they will tell me to rest, which would mean not becoming the athlete, quote unquote athlete, the most healed person. I will take a step back and I will rest and I will maybe look at the sunset and I will sit with myself and I will practice grounding, all of these things. Technically, anyone can become an athlete, but in the process of becoming that athlete, everything within you that is opposite to that goal will come up. So, in the meantime, you can't become it, you know. But even when you are doing the things that look like it is the opposite of reaching that goal, it is quite literally the exact correct path. Kevin, he has a quote that he repeats multiple times. It is a quote by Rumi, which is, "Our job is not to seek love, but to remove every obstacle in the path of it." When we say everyone has the free will to reach any and every goal, we are not acknowledging past traumas, we are not acknowledging uh, certain life experiences that have made people develop some limiting beliefs. They have made them feel small within themselves. Our brain at the end of the day is is a machine, right? It takes data, and if you repeat certain things a thousand number of times, it is going to run with it. It is not a person's fault that they do not love themselves absolutely, completely every single second of the day. Two people that have had completely different life experiences, even slightly different, are going to have different approaches to life. They, both of them, can run for president, but both of them will not have the same journey, you know. So free will does not exist means that doing anything, I could have created this content. So the first time I posted anything ever anywhere was on Decent, basically on Instagram, and that was 10th September, a day after my sister's birthday. And then and that was, I cried about it, right? Because I was happy and everything. But I posted like 3 4 reels and then there was a gap. I don't know the exact time frame, but there were major gaps between the weeks that I posted, months, sometimes even years of gaps the between the postings. So, in my mind, it felt like I'm failing because obviously, literally, I was failing at being consistent. But what was happening was the first time I posted, even to post the first time, that was 2022. It took me a year to start posting. That idea had been there since 2021, like I should have an online presence or something like that. Even to post took me a year. And then it took me another year to post something else again. Posted for a few days, went MIA again. all of this that is happening, now that I am consistent, in 2022 also I could have made these videos. Technically there is free will, you know, but I don't think so. Even when I did it, even when I posted, um, certain fears would come up, you know, the fear of being seen, the fear of, I would make 1,000 excuses. I would be like, even writing this, talking directly is a different thing. Even writing, I would be like, if I write and I really like what I write, you know, so if I write and then I put it on a reel and then someone else will take a screenshot and take the credit of it, you know, so I should not write. So stuff like this, loops like this that were self-sabotaging, they felt like valid reasons to not continue what I was doing. So every single time I was moving in the forward direction, it was almost like 5 steps back because of all of the fears that were coming up, or all of the loops that I had still not stepped out of, you know. So it was, every single time I was moving my emotional body, there was a fracture showing up in certain area, there was a fracture showing up in somewhere else, like a muscle sprain somewhere else. Every single time I was trying to become this person that I wanted to, I had to not become that person. You know, I had to step back every time. I had to rest. But what looked like the opposite of that goal was exactly the path. You know, the only way to is through the opposite. So, am I making sense? So, it is like, so when I say that I was doing something, the all the journey that you have is not an evidence against your suitability for success. It is an evidence in favor of your suitability for success. Oh, I have failed so many times. I tried in 2022, I couldn't do it, then I tried again, I still couldn't do it. Last year 9th April I also started posting on Videya Bhav, and I have posted there for maybe like 18 reels. And now that channel is not my priority right now. So all of these failures, every single one of these failures can feel like, I have failed so many times, I can't do it. You look at your journey as if it is an evidence of your continued failure, like what has happened should happen. But what was failure was actually something that was building you up to move in the forward direction. You know, like, this is what I mean when I say free will does not exist. Technically, anyone can do it, but a person um, who has not had experiences um, opposite to their goal will just move forward. But a person who has had experiences that have held them back and all of it, they will have to first deal with all of those things. That is their only way to move forward. So it is not that neutral, and the ground is not that, the fair play does not exist. Everyone has their own journey, and it is not fair to say that, oh, just work for 20, you know, two jobs, or everyone has equal 24 hours, or like, just do it, you know. That is not fair, and that is not kind, and it is not in acknowledgement of the nuances that every single human life holds, you know. Because ultimately everything comes back to nervous system regulation. Everyone does not have the same nervous system. Even if two people are working in the same job with the same position, everything, they might not have the same path to promotion or anything. Not even promotion in the corporate ladder, promotion as, you know, what we call matured and well-rounded adults. Because both of them are dealing with different things, both of them are experiencing the world through a different nervous system, you know. There, for one of them, if they are looking out of the window, they are seeing the beautiful sunset and the scenery. The other one who is looking out of the window, and the fresh air is hitting their face for the first time in maybe like months, because they have not stepped out, they are experiencing that sunset in the sense that it is making them feel a lot of emotions at once. So someone on the outside can look at it and be like, why are you so sad looking at the sunset? Why are you crying looking at the sunset? You on paper you should just look at it and feel happy. But why are you feeling grief? Because grief is their path to that joy that they are intending to experience. Grief is not the opposite of the path. When you are like, oh, why am I not happy? This is a happy thing. Why is grief in the way? Grief is not in the way. Grief is guiding you to where you want to go. Grief is the way. You have to walk through it because it has been put there, unfortunately, especially because of situations outside of your control. But now it is only your responsibility and only you can do it to move through it, to reach where you want to go, you know so um so like, just do it does not work. I In 2022 especially, all I did was wake up, cry, sleep, cry, eat, sleep, you know, and then obviously doom scroll, because that would numb your brain. It was looking like I was going in the opposite direction of any happiness and any success. But and it would have been very easy for someone to say, just clear the exam, just study, especially because I have had good academic records. So it even to me, no one else was as rude to me as I was. Especially, I am lucky enough to again have my home and my parents who have loved me in a way that makes me feel like I am the only person who I have to fight. So that is kind of a good thing. So I would tell myself, just study, it is really not that difficult. But all I was doing was, how nervous system, like the machines break down at a certain point. COVID was around that point and everything kept breaking down, you know so when hypothermia, when we are in extremely cold situations, our body reacts by drawing blood towards our internal organs, towards our chest and our heart and our lungs, away from our hands and our feet. So technically it should be like, why is it not fair? Why can you just not move your hands? Because the blood is not there, because the priority right now is not doing, it is being. The priority right now is not to use your hands, it is your heart needs to stay alive. Similarly, when you are going through extremely hypothermic situations of emotional distress, obviously your emotional body is going to bring all of your energy towards your heart, towards keeping you alive. So your hands are not going to move, you are not going to be able to work or paint or do the correct things that you should be doing, correct, quote unquote correct, because you are trying to survive, because you are trying to just stay alive. That is the mechanism that the body follows across all aspects, physical, emotional. you know so do not be too like rude to you, do not be unfair to yourself. Why can I not work right now? Your body does not have that much energy, it is doing anything it can do to keep you alive. It is Life is always going to follow the path of least resistance, ultimately least resistance. The like ultimately you should be fine. For that, right now, even if you are not fine, like that temporary setbacks and temporary everything, this is my view of life, I am not generalizing it for anyone. I have seen that for my life particularly, it has always been a pattern of every single thing will break down. There will be cycles, and in each cycle it is the same pattern, at least for till now. Every single thing will break down to the point, absolute breakdown, dust, not even bricks, everything is dust. And then everything will obviously build back much better than I could have imagined. So that the ultimate goal is to have least resistance at the destination. Right now, even if it feels like it is the most painful path, maybe maybe life has a way. Maybe trust your process. Maybe you will actually be fine, genuinely, you know. So, this is again, you can be like, are we believing in destiny too much and all of it? The theory I have regarding destiny or fate and versus karma or action is that the world is a hotel with infinite number of floors, and every single floor has infinite number of rooms. There are Every person has a room of their own, but there are also rooms where two people are staying, that is their friendship room. There are rooms where five people are staying, that is their family room. Like different rooms, infinite rooms, infinite floors. We are on god knows which floor, someone else is on some other floor, and there is an elevator that is working randomly, almost randomly, at least it feels random. And and you end up on any floor in any room. In one life you can't end up on every single floor and cannot meet every single person, right? So the floors that you end up on and the rooms that you end up in, I think that is destiny. The people you meet and the situations you are in are out of your control. It feels, to me it feels, uh, it makes sense to understand it as maktub, but if it doesn't to you, that is fine. And then when you end up in a room, what you do with it? If two of you end up in the same room and both of you choose to stay in that room, you will have to decide on things like, what is the sleep timetable? At what time are we going to close the lights? What is going to be the color of the walls? You know, or do you like playing music loud? Or do you have earphones? Stuff like this. You will have to decide this between bonds. Those are actions, you know, the people you end up with, the situations you end up in, to walk out of those rooms or to stay. And if you stay, then the choices you make, these are in your hands, and at the same time also destiny. So so there is an element of free will, that is human agency. At least I would like to believe. Honestly, I think even those actions are predetermined. I think, you know, I have wanted to run away from this content creation thing for years and years. I have I have not believed in it. I have not believed in myself, and I was almost like I was so scared that in my heart I knew it would be successful. In and by successful, I have no idea how good, because again, the college story is my reference point, you know. So I was just scared of success also, and I was also scared of failure, sorry. So I was scared of everything all at the same time, and I have ignored it for as long as I could. And then I kept walking in the opposite direction, but none of it worked. You know, even when I was making the same mistakes or different new ones, it didn't matter. None of it worked. Then here I am making content. You know what I didn't want to do for so long. So I think even those decisions have like some sense of destiny, like it will take you where you need to go. But yeah, so another one that can come up regarding like this understanding of free will does not exist. We do not have the same map. There is a movie, The Last Wish, Puss in Boots' Last Wish. All of them are looking for a magic star in a fantasy land, and there is one single map, and whoever holds that map, the map changes according to it. If the male cat, he is holding it, then it becomes about him having to face how he has been irresponsible about his 9 lives. The female cat holds it, it becomes about her fear of abandonment. So this is a very beautiful and very easy explanation of how life works. Each one of us has a different map, and we have to walk through our own map only. So it is not fair to say, just do it, just be fine, just be happy, just smile. You know, everyone is looking at the sunset, but Everyone is looking at it through their nervous system, through their, they are experiencing themselves, they are not experiencing the sunset. So maybe be a little bit kinder to each other, and to especially ourselves. It is okay to not do what should be done, or what logically can be done might not be possible to do, because there might be factors that were not your fault, and there might be factors that you are now understanding, and it is okay. Take your time, walk your path, and your path might look like it is the opposite. Again, Kung Fu Panda 1, in the beginning, Oogway says, the one often meets his destiny on the path that he takes to avoid it. So Kung Fu Panda 1 has infinite wisdom, 1, 2, and 3. One day I'll talk about those three movies also. And at the same time, maybe one day I'll talk about that piece of shit fourth one. I do not hate anything as much as I hate that movie. So I think this should be it for this one.